Hey guys, it's Patrick at Mercedes-Benz Burlington, and today we took a little bit of a drive down the road because it's a beautiful fall afternoon. You know, a lot of our subscribers have asked us, aren't coupes two doors? Well, no, there's such thing as a four-door coupe, and the CLS is one of them. This is the CLS 53 2023 model year. Let's look at some of the characteristics of the CLS and what makes it a four-door coupe. So looking at the side of the vehicle, the CLS actually sits, I'd say, somewhere in between the E and the S-Class model. The reason for that is it's a little bit longer than the E, but it has a lot of characteristics of the E. It's called the CLS, so it's in our four-door coupe line, so it would be kind of like a bigger version of the CLA, but it's got a lot of similar characteristics to the E. So similar AMG styled wheels on the 53, and when we look inside, it's got the same type of seats, the same types of screens, and creature comforts on the inside of the vehicle. What makes it a four-door coupe is essentially it's long like a sedan, and it's got pretty well a full-size rear door. But what makes it a four-door coupe is it's got coupe-like characteristics. So it's still got a slanted down, more sporty back, and it's got a smaller back seat. So it's still like a coupe-like car, but you get an extra door, so it's easier to come in and out of. Inside the back seat, like I said, coupe feel, so I don't feel like I have a huge amount of leg room. It's a little bit of a tighter back seat. I'm very comfortable, but the main difference with the back seat in a four-door coupe is the entry and exit point, right? So my head is actually behind the pillar here, and when I open it up, we've still got a little piece of the glass here on the window, but this is where the main difference is. On a regular natural sedan, it would come out like this, and I'd be able to get out a little bit easier. On this, you just gotta kind of tuck and roll to get in and out, but it still gives your passengers a comfortable back seat and gives you a more sporty look. So it's kind of a balance where you don't have to have more of like a less sporty sedan, but you still have the comfort for your passengers. The back of the CLS is probably the most popular part of the whole car because this is where it all kind of ties really nice together and you get a really aggressive, sportier back. On the 53, you get this little lip on the trunk, and then you've got a 4 exhaust pipe out of the back as well. Something that's a fun fact about this car, in Canada, every car needs a bumper. So because this is actually a seamless bumper that doesn't have anything sticking out, they give us what's called a bumperette. This is a love-hate relationship. A lot of people don't like the look of the bumperette. It's actually an afterthought from Mercedes. So this allows them to pass the Canadian certification and have the bumperette sticking out to give you something that if you were to get in a collision, it would hit this before the actual back of the car. Other places in the world, they actually have a completely seamless look on the back, which I actually think looks a little bit better, but I'll still take it for the look of the CLS. Sitting in the front of the CLS, very similar to the E, like I said. So the E-Class and the CLS share a lot of characteristics, especially in that 53, because everything that's upgraded in the 53 for AMG is the same on both. You can change kind of the spec of the car in terms of the trim, the seat color, and that sort of thing, but they're very similar. I wouldn't actually know if I was blindfolded, I wouldn't know which car I'm in, except for minor differences. So the seat finish and stitching is the same, the branding and badging is the same, but the seat looks a little bit different than in the E53. The trim, the steering wheel, and the screens for the infotainment are actually identical to the E53, but I do feel a little bit less height in here. So the dimensions of the interior are a little bit different on the CLS than on the E53. Another thing that you'll notice is when you look out of the back, it slopes down to give you that more aggressive look, but that also limits your headspace in the back and in the front. So you do feel a little bit tighter, but that does give clients what they're looking for in that sportier, racy feel versus the E, where, you know, you can get an E450 that's a lot less, more luxurious and classy, but, you know, less sporty. This is a lot more sporty, but with the same creature comforts as the E53. What do you guys think of the CLS 53? This model has been around for years and generations and taken on many different looks for Mercedes-Benz, and it was originally designed by all women, which is really cool because this was a really historic car when it first came out, and it's still here today. This is the 2023, and we hope you enjoyed it.